Among those who were also there was musician and activist Tom Morello, who has performed at a number of rallies and concerts here in Chicago over the past 3 days. I caught up with him after he performed at the anti-war rally in Grant Park.
This land is your land. This land is my land. From California to New York Island.
Well, I was asked by Iraq and Afghanistan veterans against the war to perform today, and I've done many solidarity actions with them through the years. I was very happy and pleased to be here.
What about these soldiers who are about to return their medals? I know that it is not easy for many of them or their families.
I think there's nothing more courageous than a soldier who stands up against an unjust war, and that's what these soldiers are doing. Very brave soldiers, courageous soldiers are doing today.
And the role of music and art in resistance.
Yeah. Well, I mean, what music can do is it can help steel the backbone of those in the midst of a struggle, help put wind in the sails of social justice movements. And I've been here over the course of the last 3 days exhaustively playing songs for a variety of causes, but none more important than today.
What links do you make between, you're going to be soon headed to Wisconsin for the race for governor, you'll be performing in Madison and other places, and here you are at the NATO summit. What are the links?
Well, if only we could recall NATO would be, or the G8. Those unaccountable bodies, though, are currently not within the spectrum of what we can recall. But you know, across the globe and certainly across the United States, from this Veterans Against the War movement to the union, you know, the rising, the boomeranging back around union movement, social justice movements are on the rise again. And I hope to some small degree that my songs can help be a soundtrack for that struggle and to help people on the front lines.
And what do you say to those who say, but NATO represents a multilateral approach to dealing with war?
Well, I mean, the first person people that I would try to explain that to are the civilians who have lost family members from NATO's, you know, generous actions around the globe. And, you know, there have been unforgivable war crimes that have occurred over the course of the last decade on NATO's bloody hands. That's what these veterans here have come to express, and they're going to return their medals because of that.
What are you going to be performing today?
There's still some discussion and debate about what's going to be performed, but I have a small catalog of songs that I've written for veterans, Iraq Veterans Against the War. I'm going to start with those. One of them is called Battle Hymns. One of them is called Stray Bullets.
Whoa, whoa, hey, yeah, I'll sail away. Whoa, whoa, hey, yeah, slide on down. Whoa, whoa, hey, yeah, what is lost you gave away. Stray bullets raining on down, down, down. Stray bullets raining on down.
Stray Bullets is a song I wrote for Thomas Young, who's a disabled Iraq veteran, who's a good friend of mine, and who was in Iraq for 5 days before his spine was severed by bullets. And it's you know, it's kind of having spent some time talking with him about it and the very conflicted feelings he has about what patriotism means when you've given everything for a war that you don't believe in.
So here you are in Chicago, not that far probably from where President Obama is. This is his hometown. He made sure.
Yeah.
You are staying at the same hotel?
Yeah, so I understand. So the Secret Service would have me understand.
Which hotel is that?
Yeah. What's that?
Which hotel is
the
that?
The Sheraton.
Very interesting.
You won't get near it.
So did anyone confuse the two of you? Because you know it's possible.
I hope to share an elevator with him at some point.
Talk about your background.
Yeah, well, I mean, we both have Kenyan fathers and white American mothers, and we both attended Harvard University at the same time. He was in law school while I was an undergrad, and we're both from Illinois. And we're both pretty good basketball players, too. So, though our politics may differ.
And have you ever met?
No, we've never met.
What would you say to President Obama if you met him in the elevator?
I'd like to see him in the pit of a Rage Against the Machine show. Let's start there. Let's see if he's really down with the people.
And as for NATO?
As for NATO, well, I mean, I think that I always have the strong conviction that change comes from the bottom up, not from the top down. And so it's what we do in the streets and the kind of mass movements that we can mobilize that are going to that are going to demand change, as opposed to, you know, begging elected officials to do something on our behalf.
And the people who are being arrested here, the raids raids we're hearing about that are happening in the afternoon and the night, the people, young people who are being charged with terrorism.
Well, I mean, none of that should come as any surprise. I mean, this is the message that is being presented here by the protesters is one that's very, very threatening to the moneyed interests who, back NATO, who back the G8, and so, I think that we haven't seen the last of the repressive measures this weekend.
Musician Tom Morello, also at the